Okay. I am back. Tired, but consistent because we get into the new year and that's what we have to do. These little cats, they coming off shapes, form, and sizes. They like to get their inspiration, So we got to make our name great so people can know where that came from. So, anyway, y'all, as the title goes, I wonder if the Jane Doe is lying. I I don't want to say it, but I want to say it. I don't really like Jay-Z. Jay-Z to me is mean. As I watch him through the years, he's been mean to his fans, especially black ones, and he nice to the white ones. But at the same time, I care about our people for sure because we are marginalized and oppressed as a body. And I see that Trump, well, good the justice has served. He do have to pay his victim today. As of today, they ruled in his appeal that he is going to have to pay the person that he was misconducting. So I can't even say that even Trump got away with it, but it's a lot of people that do. Anyway, just take it from Alex when he initially came out, did not admit or did not acknowledge that it was Jay-Z that did anything. He was saying at this time that Diddy was the one that was doing something to over 3,000 people that had called in. He said that his office was vetting them very carefully. He had hired an investigator. And yes, he is licensed in New York, in Texas. From here, let's hear what he had to say back 2 months ago.
With people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases.
Two 10-year-old boys have been charged with the abduction and murder.
What turned to
And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls calls we have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice. But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. Mm-hmm. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety.
As they should be.
I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Mm-hmm. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. Mm-hmm. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty.
Because come on, at the end of the day, people want to get paid. People want to gain something. I used to go in on the victims of R. Kelly, and I only gave up on going in on them and really just denouncing my support for R. Kelly when that man was found guilty. That's when I said, okay, I gotta back off of this, because I'm not going to sit back and take up for somebody that's messing with kids or accused of it and then proven to have been messed. I just decided that wasn't a good look for me, and I didn't feel comfortable with that. But let's not get it twisted. People hang around celebrities wanting to entice them. They want to. I'm not, in the case of this girl that claimed she went to the VMAs in 2000, and her friend took her and drove her 5 hours to NY and left. It just don't sound credible to me. It doesn't. So I'm trying to hear some of this. Go back. Before anything was talked, everybody speculated that it could have been Jay-Z, because Jay-Z and Diddy hung together, even though he's denouncing his friendship with him. They hung together. Now, mind you, Diddy was the one, if you go and listen to them interviews, listen to Diddy, he was the one always hollering, that's my brother. That's my friend. This is my brother right here. But that wasn't Jay-Z, and that's not Jay-Z's fault. It's not Jay-Z's fault that he's smart. It's not Jay-Z's fault that he's calculated. Catch up. And when you see somebody not loving you as much as you love them, that's when you need to wake up. Pull back. And that's something Diddy didn't do. But as for me, I don't care. I don't really care for. I'm disappointed with Jay-Z. Don't know him enough not to like him, but disappointed in that when he came up, to me, it appeared that he was always mean to black fans. He ignores them, and I don't respect that. How you going to turn and do that to your own people that put you there? Because it was your people buying your albums. It was your people showing you love. And the power of the people is very strong, hard, and it counts. Our votes count. Everything about us count, even though they tried to take that from us. They can't. They need us. So for you to turn back, piss on a stick, and act like we don't count, that to me lost my respect. But at the same time, I don't know if this Jane Doe is telling the truth. I don't.
Fans will go, no matter the evidence, to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love. I mean, there's a reason for this word fans. They're fanatics.
Exactly.
I've personally already been threatened multiple times on social media. Mm-hmm. And when I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much. This isn't my first rodeo. But victims who step forward to have their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of conduct. They should not be targeted. I want to say this, and I want to be clear about it. Although we are vetting each call as stringently as we can, I always start with a mindset that I believe victims.
Right.
I believe victims because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove.
Right.
Many times it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against. We did not enter this fray blindly. I wish it was my last such fray. I wish this type of behavior wasn't so pervasive, but it is what it is, so we will press on. As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females.
Wow.
There are 60 males and 60 females
Raping men.
who have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida. I don't want to focus.
What's wrong with these burger buns? They taste perfectly delicious, but due to a production mishap, their bottoms are slightly curved instead of flat.
Of these victims. When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old.
That's
We have an individual who
disgusting.
was 14 years old.
But you might ask yourself, is it possible? Let me remind you of the video I showed on my last live. Is it possible? Is this true? I mean, I'm saying myself, this one particular Jane Doe, her dad happens to not remember and recall, and if he would have remembered something like, if something like that, you told me something like that, I would remember that. He's saying he don't remember. Her own dad is saying that he don't recall. The only one that could corroborate her, 24 years later, the girl that dropped her off, allegedly, is gone. She's passed away. She says she went to a gas station. Okay, is there a camera somewhere? Is there a camera? Is there a witness? You are in a public place. Is there anyone that can come forward that can corroborate your story? I don't know. I doubt it. But can this possibly happen? Well,
Feeling good? Oh, you put that thing on the wall.
So you see how we do it here on Saturday, just as good as Miss. So you see how we do it here on Saturday, just as good as Miss.
Feeling good? Oh, you put that thing on the wall.
and this was inside that room that somebody put the thing on something. This was what the picture was, and the man smiling and waving to these children. This weirdo out here who need to be for real, who needs to be. He needs I want to say some raw, some real evil stuff. But I will hold myself back. But look how they looking at these little girls. So he comes out of this room happy, acting like he just won a bet. Leaving a room full of kids. Now, in this particular case with the Jane Doe, I don't believe it. You got to prove it to me, because I don't believe it. I feel like Alex Spiro is fighting his life for his client. He's giving his all, telling the judge what she will do. The judge coming back and telling what she will not do. Because you better do what you're supposed to do and ask me for a motion to dismiss. Do it the proper legal way. Don't come up in here demanding. But he's like, look, you're not going to do me like you did the rest of these men. You're not going to put something on me, put my John where my John never was. But at the same time, it's pictures like this that have you questioning yourself, asking yourself, could this be? Could a grown man really be interested in kids? Well, when you see a man peeking at kids in a damn doorway, waving at them like they little doggies, you could see the little girl looks uncomfortable as ever. You could see the rest of the children looking at these grown-ups, knowing they're weirdos, and where are their parents? And their parents need to be arrested too. If their parents are involved in this case and scenario and picture here, they need to be arrested. They need to be arrested. The people that's their caretaker and responsible for them, whether that's DFS, Child Protective Services, they all need to be arrested. I'm hearing that Diddy is right now being asked to snitch. Well, Diddy need to snitch. Diddy need to snitch. Even though he's trash. He did dirt according to all these allegations out here about him. He still needs to snitch. Because the right thing to do is to try to correct at least some of these actions. Traumatizing children is never going to lead you into heaven. Never going to lead you into a good place. Because this is disgusting. But to me, maybe Jane Doe wasn't the one that was victimized. But these kids here could have very well been. Other children, hopefully not, but it just don't look good. I'm going to go ahead and finish this.
We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time. Now, when you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago, and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I'll use New York, the state of New York, as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that revive such claims, and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward because they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one. And I expect more victims will come forward. You know, there's an old saying that says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida, primarily in Miami. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, all-white party, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct in the promise of being made a star or in the promise of having Sean Combs listen to their tape or even let them read for Sean Combs. You should know that some of this behavior occurred at well-known venues in New York City. Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know. Some of this behavior occurred at hotels that we're all familiar with. You should know that more than 55% of the victims filed reports reported this conduct to either the authorities, that is the police, or to hospitals. We're in the process of collecting with our team assistants medical records, reports that were made to the authorities, and I've already said that some of the individuals in this group did in fact talk to the FBI. You should know that several of the individuals, and when I say several, I mean many, who did in fact seek medical treatment were drug tested, and drugs were found in their system, weird drugs that you probably never heard of. One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine, or trank, which, based on our research, is known as a horse tranquilizer.
That's that on that. I think I'm done with that video, but you get it. You get the gist. Actually, no, I'm not. I got something to do real quick.
Now, there's been a lot of reports that we're filing a class action. This is not a class action. Class action is when one or two people file a case on behalf of a group of people. That's not this. These cases will be individual cases. Each case will live and die on its own merit. These cases will be filed individually, one plaintiff against whoever the defendants were involved in the case. Each case may be filed in one venue like California, another case may be filed in New York. One case may sue just Sean Combs, but multiple other people. One case may sue a range of people. I would expect most, though, to be filed, as I said, in New York and Los Angeles. Now, I know this. Many of you came here thinking or hoping or perhaps believing that I may start naming names. Well, that day will come, but it won't be today. The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are. And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing.
Nasty.
And I'm talking about the people that participated,
Disgusting.
encouraged it, egged it on.
Dirty.
They know who they are. I call them the facilitators of foul play, willing participants in vile conduct. As we identify them, each will be part of this case as defendants. These defendants will not only include individuals, but would also include corporate entities who ultimately profited off of this culture and behavior.
Party.
I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels. We know that many of these individuals were paid cash. We know that many of these individuals involved, whether they were the ones being assaulted and abused or they're witnessing other people being assaulted and abused and then paid and threatened and told to leave. Typically paid 10 grand in cash and told to leave. And then threatened.
What's wrong? But just think about it. What is wrong with the world? What is wrong with the world that when you get rich, you do weird things? It's something wrong with you as a fucking human. It's as a soul to do that. I don't even want to say it on YouTube. It's just something demented. Your attraction level should be somebody that is like your age, close to your age. But what is wrong with somebody that is wanting younger? It's just sick. But anyway, let's go to this article. We know what Tony's talking about. Tony mean business. He's an attorney. He's going to fight to the very bloody end. And as he should. That's what he went to college to do. That's his passion. I just want to go back to this real quick. Because this is kind of like where I'm at with it. Possibly. It could very well be that he did this. But what if he didn't do it? What if it's other things that has been done but this is not one of them. It says blackmail for money. Jay-Z accuser Jane Doe may have filed a lawsuit with false accusation against the rapper. Here are details. It says an Alabama woman who is being identified as Jane Doe has eventually accused the renowned rapper Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs of R-wording her when she was 13 years old during an after party. We know that. I'm just going to skip. In a recent interview with NBC News, she eventually described the traumatic event while detailing that how she was allegedly drugged and assaulted by both men in private residence. The lawsuit, which was initially filed against Diddy, was later amended again to add Jay. Okay, while the woman totally maintains her allegations at the same time, she also acknowledged the fact that some inconsistencies are there in her recollections, which strikingly includes her father's inability to remember picking her up following the incident and several discrepancies regarding the presence of certain celebrities at the after party, asserted NBC News. In spite of such major inconsistencies, her attorneys named Tony Bugsby gradually affirmed her commitment to pursuing the case and even suggested that she would take a polygraph test to support her claim. Jay-Z, on the other hand, has vehemently denied all the allegations while labeling them as extremely idiotic and claimed them as a part of a blackmail attempt, noted NBC News. He also severely criticized Tony Busby for filing what he described as a frivolous suit. Oh my gosh. Who has recently filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs? An Alabama woman. According to recent reports, is there any sort of inconsistencies in the lawsuit filed against Jay-Z alongside Sean Diddy Combs by the woman? While the woman identified as Jane Doe totally maintains her allegations at same time, she also acknowledged the fact that I just read that, so that's that. So there's that. And today, I got this. TMZ posted an article. There's a court PDF file, but this is based off of that. Jay-Z's lawyer eyes legal loophole in attempt to throw out lawsuit. Jay-Z's attorney says there are a bunch of holes in a R-word lawsuit against the rapper, and he's looking to have this case thrown out. In new court documents obtained by TMZ, Alex Spiro, the lawyer representing the rap mogul, says he's gearing up to file a motion to dismiss the lawsuit against Jay, claiming the statute Jane Doe is suing under didn't even take effect until after the alleged sexual and can't be applied against the rapper retroactively. Right? You can't accuse somebody of doing something if it didn't happen yet. And that's pretty foul. Because this man is a what, millionaire? I don't know if he's in the billions yet, maybe. You are accusing him something and you have no facts. Out here, we don't see any. You just came out. I could come out and say, "Oh, I was there. They dropped me off. I went to the party. I was taking something. I got a little drunk, a little tipsy. I felt woozy. Seen these guys didn't come in, and anybody could do that. Especially if you solicit these people. Come call, come ye, come yo, come you, you and you. And you see Cassie just got 30. Would she get 30 million from the Diddy case? Thirsties are going to jump up out the woodwork. They're going to jump up out the woodwork. And yeah, like you said, there was over 3,000 people that needed to be vetted, and they got it down to 100 and something. As Jay-Z's attorney puts it, the statute was enacted in December 2000, 3 months after Jane Doe claimed she was SA'd by Jay-Z and Diddy at an MTV Video Music Awards after party. The statute was enacted in December 2000. So the statute was enacted 3 months after Jane Doe claimed she was SA'd. Even if the statute did apply, Jay-Z's lawyer says this only covers conduct committed within NYC, and he insists the purported location of the alleged assault could not have been New York City. Yeah, it couldn't have been. That's what I remember. I don't know if I was hearing somebody's live, but I heard that it was possibly in New Jersey. I know that Radio City Music Hall is in Manhattan. I've been there before. In the heart of the city. getting through traffic, getting on the bridge. Want to take you to get to New Jersey, to Newark, New Jersey, probably 35 minutes, 40 minutes. But she said she got there in 20 minutes. How you get in? It's just the timing. The timeline is off. And then the statutes of limitations are off. He says Jane Doe claimed in her complaint she was driven from Radio City Music Hall to a large white residence with a gated U-shaped driveway about 20 minutes away. But Jay-Z's lawyer said any residence with that description, if it existed at that time, would be outside the territorial boundaries of New York City. Yeah, where would that be? Jay-Z's lawyer doesn't stop there, arguing any of Jane Doe's possible claims have expired way back in August 2021. From the looks of it, the rapper's legal team is fighting hard to get the case tossed. Jane Doe's attorney, Tony Busby, tells TMZ, "These are technical arguments being made, and the law is clearly on our side and the side of alleged. The law is well settled that we are correct." Even if the law wasn't, I think they're going to side with her because she's accusing them of that. And that is the sorry part. That's all I really have for you. Just that's the update. I think that it's a good deal. It's a good plan to fight. The statutes of limitations are over. And the geographical area is off. The GPS, how you get there from there, that's off. The 5-hour drive is weird. How did you know that? And this is my question. How you know that? How did you know Diddy's driver? How did you know who he was? How did you corner him? How did you see him? And how did you end up in that car? It just don't seem right, sis, if you out here. And I don't really want her to come out and make herself known, because then it is dangerous for her. People will, I don't trust none of them people in the industry. I don't think it's safe, but I ain't saying that I ain't saying that I all the way don't believe her, but I'm saying I'm at 95% that I don't believe her. I'm at 95% that I'm not jumping off the window, because I noticed that people will try to make you not like Beyonce or try to make you agree. I'm not going with that. I've never been a follower. I've always been a leader. I've always been off the beaten path doing my own thing. And I just don't see any reason to just go and jump and believe this girl. I do think that Jay-Z's not innocent. We have too many people that know him that came out and talked about him. His own ex-friends and artists like Kanye and Dame Dash and D Haven and all kinds of people that have said bad things about this person that wasn't good and favorable for him. He just ditches you. So I know the character is not straight and narrow, but at the same time, you saying that this person did this to you, you saying Diddy did it to you too. And if it can't be one and not the other, though, because I'm saying if the details are wrong, they're wrong. I see this as a way to bring Jay in this. I see this as a way to start the floodgates of accusers, and I don't think it's safe. That's all I got for y'all. Stay tuned for the next one. Please hit the like button for the very few that are watching. Hi, Paula. Hi, Paul. I didn't even know you was down there. I was off talking on looking at a different screen, but I just don't. I cannot keep doing this. I can't keep accusing people of doing things where it doesn't fit. If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. I don't feel that that's cool in this age we're in. Yeah, maybe that would have worked 4 years ago. But y'all, if y'all notice time, God is a God of times and seasons. And if you don't believe in the God that like Christianity way, just think about the numerology way. If you think about astrology and timing and everything, it's just that this type of accusations don't really work in the era that we're in. You got to come with real proof. But this is also the time when people are going to be held accountable of the things they done wrong. Let's do right. Let's be right. Let's try to always do the right thing, y'all. For real, because know that it is going to come back to you. And as I said, let me show y'all this. I'm not saying that I don't think this man is capable, because I don't understand this right here. Check this out. Show y'all again.
Feeling good? Oh, you put that thing on the woo!
You see how we do it here on the Saturday. This is what it's missing. You see how we do it here on the Saturday. This is what it's missing.
Feeling good? Oh, you put that thing on the woo!
In case you don't know what that is, I took a screenshot of when that door opened. This is what they're looking at. He just came out of the room with these little girls. You put that thing on him is what he said. So I do think that this is odd. There's no reason for grown men used, and this is disgusting, used up men that have been with all types of women to be even around the presence of these children. So this is weird. I do think he's done things, but she got to come. Tony have to come with some more proof. He's got to the judge. If he don't want to come out here to public opinion, come out with the proof, and then Jay-Z's right. Why you didn't press criminal charges? Why didn't you go for that? Why are you going for money? So, yeah. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Oh, yeah. Let me see one more thing. This woman on Instagram, Anissa Hill, posted this. And it's in reference to Beyonce. I am a Beyonce singing fan. I love Beyonce, but Beyonce can get criticized, too. If Beyonce is out here doing some crazy things, she can get told the truth too. But I think Beyonce's downfall, if I'm not going to put it on her, is being in a relationship that she probably lived out long ago. She should not have been in a relationship where a man was cheating on her. One time, okay. If you've been with somebody for over 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, they might step off. Sometimes you do have that happen. That's realistic. You decide if you want to get back with the person based on if they show you consistency, that they truly love you, and they showing you that they're faithful. They call you. You're not always having to always call them. You know when somebody loves you. But I feel that, yes, Beyonce may have stayed too long. Now this might hit her. But what Anissa said, she was talking about Beyonce. I like this. Y'all listen to this.
When the enemy realizes that he's about to lose his power over you, he will take you into deeper contracts. For an example, let's have a baby. Let's get married. Let's move in together. Let's move out the state. Now the punishment and treatment will be 7 times as worse. See, the first time he put his hands on you, cheated on you, disrespected you, you were able to block him and deny access. But now there's a baby involved, so it's more complicated. Now God is so faithful, he will always provide a way of an escape, but you have to take that way. The Bible says my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So when you find yourself living a defeated life, it is because you are carrying burdens that you were never designed to carry. What rebellion and sin does, it causes us to take on a God-sized problem that we were never equipped to carry. This is why it's so important that we stay in God's perfect will for our life and we do not derail, because this is what causes our life to be difficult and hardships and tragedies to come when we step outside of his parameters. Yes, God is a restorer. Yes, God is a healer. Yes, he will rescue you. But the enemy is a thief of time. And one thing we can never get back is wasted years. Obedience is better than sacrifice. I'd rather block him in the beginning than give up years of my life going back and forth with a person who's problematic, who don't understand the principle of things, who don't want to contribute and want to see me struggle. I'd rather just block him in the beginning. God, he ain't for me. This situation ain't what I'm supposed to be in. Okay, let me not make my life more difficult by being rebellious and entertaining things and people that don't belong in my life. Because one thing about those red flags, they're always there. I'm talking about in the beginning. You see it. God is so faithful. Y'all let me know in the comments. He will show his chosen ones that person isn't for you. Now, it's your free will. It's your decision if you want to entertain it. But God will show us who don't belong in our life. You want the blessings of pressed down, shaking together, running over, so much you don't got room enough to receive it. Okay, that comes through obedience. That comes through a surrendered life. That's how you access those blessings.
Yeah, so okay, music. But okay. That's what I'm trying to say too. I like how Anise put it. And men do, I'm sorry, but men do this sometimes. When they do you so wrong, like you be really with them on things. You really be dedicated. You be loving them and being the wife, and they don't treat you right and they don't honor it. They still do them. And then when you're ready to leave, it's like they train you. A woman told me this a long time ago. They will train you to do other things. You get tied up doing other things. You start now being comfortable without leaning on them for support and for that emotional stability. You start leaning on other things. You find other extracurricular activities. They don't have room anymore where they used to, and they feel it and they see you going further away from them. So what do? They might get you pregnant, ask you to marry them. And I do feel that, I'm sorry, but I'm not. I feel that this is what happened with Beyonce. I feel like he recognized that she was a diamond, a gift, a jewel, an innocent girl. If you look at Beyonce's eyes, look at her eyes. Her eyes are kind of distant. She looks so hurt. It's so worn. And when she first came into the industry, she looked like just happy and joyful. But that's gone now. It's not there. The light is gone. Even Jay-Z said that. He saw the light fade in her eyes because he hurt her so much. And men do this thing. They do that. That's why I be saying, if a man finds a good woman, don't do that to her. Don't ruin her, because you will force her out. Like, she'll just not even care anymore, and the love is dead now. Anyway, not to lecture, that's what I have to say. You're worth more, child. You're worth more. And if you stuck in that area where you can't move out of, like, you can't get over the person, you can't move on, you know it's not good for you, you are in control. Start visualizing the thing you want, the man you want, how you want him to look, where you want to be. Start finding something that you enjoy doing. Even though I don't get her, I really wish I did get a lot of views, but I don't get them. I don't. But I wish I do. But at the end of the day, what keeps me coming back is this is something I like to do. I like to create. So that's what keeps me coming back. And I guarantee you, you won't be so attached to that bad thing because you have something replacing it. You got to speak your way out of things sometimes. Y'all, I'll stay tuned. But that's the news. That's what I have to say about it. I don't know if this girl is telling the truth. I'm not going to follow anybody. I don't follow anyone except my heart. And I follow the things that I see. And I don't see she has enough. I want to believe this victim, so-called victim. I want to believe her. But why is the person that took you dead? Don't your dad remember that? Girl says she ran out the house with no clothes on. No one's come forward. I don't know if I believe that, but I do feel that video showing that Jay-Z was with these kids and Diddy and this other guy looking at these little girls like they little dogs, little pets, precious little pets. They are precious. And the way they are looking at them are so disgusting and weird. So for a grown up to come out of a room talking about you put that thing on them, it lets me know that Jane Doe, she's a startup button. She's a start button. And it's on go. It's on go. Now, she could just be trying to get money. And it seems like that to me. But it's something behind it that we don't know, y'all. It's something going on. That industry is weird. I never want to be in that industry. They're weird. They are weird. They do things. Even that NFL player said he heard Beyonce say something like, ain't this sexy? Or I don't know what that's about. That's weird. But I can see by staying with somebody that you connected with somebody and tied with someone that's hanging out with little kids, you can get drawn into this mess. Anyway, y'all, that's that on that.